Hello everyone and welcome to Rags to Riches, a brand new series on the channel where the idea of it is pretty much, I mean, if you've seen Lujo's Non-Eater Legend, it's pretty similar to that. So we start off in the Vanarama South, so we've chosen to go with Dartford, and then from then we're going to see where we can get them, maybe move on to a new team if it makes sense, and then eventually, obviously the aim is to get to a big team and to win the Champions League and obviously their respective league, depending on what country we end up in. Gone with Dartford because the aim was basically to go with a team that is the closest to me in the Vanarama South. It would actually be Tunbridge, but my friend who also does a series on YouTube, I'll put the link in the description, he's already started a sort of journeyman save and he's gone with Tunbridge, so I thought, go with a different team. And Dartford is the next closest, basically. And they're actually not a bad team in the Vanarama South. Like, in real life, they're doing pretty decently. So, it'll be interesting to see what we can do with it. But as it says here, Dartford have confirmed the appointment of Paul Cameron as the club's new manager. And we've got a one-year deal, so we haven't got a huge amount of job security. And we're earning £825 a week. Steve Irving, our chairperson, is welcoming us as well. So, reputation, 1.5 stars. Media prediction is 3rd. Like I said, they're not a bad team, so we should be getting them into a playoffs. We might even be able to get them promoted with a first place, so we'll have to see what we can do. We finished 4th in the National League South last season, and we'll be entering the FA Cup, FA Trophy. We've got a 4,000 capacity stadium as well, which is pretty nice, called Prince's Park. We've got adequate training facilities, below average youth facilities, fairly basic youth recruitment. But we're going to have a transfer budget of £10,000 and a wage budget of $8,265. I imagine most of our transfers are going to be free transfers, so $10,000 is nice to have if we manage to find someone that's like really good and we have to buy him, but it doesn't matter too much. Director of Football, currently vacant. Whether we'll actually get one, I don't know, but we do have an assistant manager called Christian Jolly, so we'll have to see what he's like. Founded in 1888 and fierce rivals with Ebbsfleet. What do they want me to do then? So they want us to reach the playoffs, which makes sense if we are predicted to be 3rd, reach the FA Cup proper and be competitive in the FA Trophy. And then if we manage to make it to next season without getting promoted, then they want us to win automatic promotion as well. So it'll be interesting to see what we can do. And then the supporters, they want us to reach the playoffs, be competitive against Ebbsfleet, be competitive against Maidstone if we happen to play them, although they are in the league above, so we probably won't. It is required for us to finish above Dover in the league. So taking a first look at the team we have inherited, we don't have a huge amount of players. If we select them all here, how many do we have? We have 20 people in total, so pretty small squad. Not too bad though, to be honest. We got 3 4-stars, quite a few 3.5, and then a few 3-stars as well. Playing time is pretty much right as well. Whether this guy will end up a regular starter, I don't know. But hopefully it means we won't have too many people unhappy with playing time. Seems like it's all set up pretty well. Top earner, is this guy. He's a star player as well. I mean, he is pretty good, to be fair. This guy, though, Maxwell Statham, he is the 3rd highest earner in the club. And he's only 2.5 star, but then he has decent potential. The majority of our players, pretty much almost all of them actually, their contracts expire at the end of next season. So if we do get promoted, we could end up with a very, very big squad rebuild going on. Now, thinking about tactics, we need to see what our best players' roles and abilities and best positions are, so we can see what sort of tactic we might be playing. So our best guy is a just straight up right midfielder or a attacking midfielder on the left. He's mainly a right midfielder, which would suggest 4-4-2 maybe. But then we've got this guy who, okay, he can go in the middle, so that also works with a 4-4-2 and also up front as well if need be. And then this guy is a striker. I mean, they're all going to have a striker, so that's fine. I think a 4-4-2 is going to be what we're going to go for here. Already sort of set it up as a 4-4-2 wing play, so if we set it to best 11. So this is the style I think we're going to go for. So we've got pretty much everyone in that we need to, and then in terms of where we're probably going to look for the transfer window, it looks like we're going to need a left back because Campbell is there, but he prefers to be a fullback on defend, which isn't really going to work for this tactic. We need a wing back. So we're going to be looking for a wing back, and then also this guy, Kieran Murtar, he's pretty decent as an advanced playmaker if we were playing that sort of thing, like a 4-3-3. or a 4-2-3-1, but we're not, and we need someone that can sort of play a defensive midfield role. So just anyone that can play central midfield on defend or ball winning midfield on defend, and he just can't, unfortunately. I mean, he can, he's okay, but it's really not his role. Any of these other guys would probably do better, like Alan, maybe. Like I say, the main areas we're going to be looking for are left back, and then some sort of defensive midfield role. We also don't have a huge amount of squad depth. We've got like this 1-star guy here, and you can see we've only got 10 subs basically. So we're looking to maybe build on a little bit of squad depth, but nothing major. Yeah, as a brief first look at the team, I'll go away, do some transfers, and then we will be back for our first game in the National League South against Bath. So I've been away, done a few transfers, done the pre-season. Went very, very well. We've stuck with a 4-4-2 wing play that we put on at the beginning. The first 3 teams, pretty easy teams you'd expect us to beat. But Barnet and Aldershot are both in the National League, and we beat them. Again, only a friendly, so you can't look too much into that, but we did beat Barnet 1-0, and then Aldershot 3-1. Which is pretty good. Now, in terms of transfers, I didn't mention earlier, but there is a rule for transfers, and it is that I'm not allowed to sign anyone that our scouts haven't found. So I'm not allowed to touch this player search screen and go looking through all the free transfers, bringing them all in on trials. Not allowed. I can only either go onto my scouted playlist and just look through there, or go into this screen, Director of Football, and then you can ask him for free transfers. So say I needed a right wing back or something, or right back, I can press that, and then some people pop up. You can see we've already had these 2 in on trial, and then you can bring them in on trial, but only if they've been found through my staff. I'm not allowed to just look. On that note, we have made a couple of signings, and that's all we can make, because I put all the money from the transfer budget into the wage budget, which means we now have 8,457, and we're currently spending 8,407 of it. So we're very unlikely to be able to sign anyone else. Now, the 2 people we did bring in, let's have a look. Technically, we brought in 3, but I'll get to that. The main guy is Grzinski, and he is a left back. So we saw earlier that the sort of left wing back was a role we kind of needed. So he's decent there on wing back on support. He was a free transfer, but before he was a free transfer, he did play for Hemel Hempstead, Wiggery and Lincoln. But he's only ever played 3 games in his entire career, so we have no idea how well this guy is going to be. He's currently 3 stars, potential ability of 5, which is only National League, but decent enough for us, and he's 19 years old. The next transfer we made was actually one that my Director of Football, I think it was, brought in. His name is Diogo Drinkwater. He's a 16-year-old who is on a free. He's currently 2-star, so not amazing, but doesn't really matter too much. But he has got 5-star potential. And we're only paying him, where is it? £5 a week. £5 a week. So just to be able to have him on our books in case he does become really good. But the other signing we made is actually a loan that we brought in for ourselves, and it is Adam Lovett. And he is a sort of midfielder DM role, because we did say earlier that we needed a sort of box-to-box midfielder, ball-winning midfielder, that type of thing. And he's pretty decent at it. You can see he's got a fair few decent attributes here. He's got 15 teamwork, 15 work rate, decent stamina as well, bravery, composure, everything there is pretty decent. So with the transfers sorted, it is now time for us to do our first game in the National League South. Now it is, like I say, a 4-4-2 wing play. This is the team that the assistant manager has suggested. Let's see if there's any changes we want to make. He's put Campbell in left wing back instead of Grzinski, and we've made one adjustment to the tactic of the default wing play, which is to move it from a low block to a mid block, because we are supposed to be one of the better sides of the league, so hopefully a mid block shouldn't be too much of an issue. But this is the team we're going to be going into the game with to see if we can get our first win of the season. Okay, here we go. The first highlight of the game. It was a kickoff highlight, and we are on the ball. We're in the red. You can see Bath are in the sort of white and black. A long ball from Bath, but that went to nobody, so we've got the ball back, and we do a long ball as well. It's just a huge amount of long balls in this game at the moment. They have the possession, but that was never going anywhere. So we try and get it onto our striker, but we're not able to do so. Lover actually makes a mistake, and they end up tackling each other. We get the ball back. Alan is on it. Can he do anything with it? No, he gets dispossessed by the defender there. Now they've got possession. Can we try and get it back? You can see our sort of mid-block doing quite well there, although their guy called Kook is on the ball. Freer, Smith goes for a shot, and you know what? That was closer than it really needed to be there. But so far, I'm not seeing anything that concerns me. 20 minutes in, and we've got another highlight. They are on the ball. They're going to be trying to get through to their striker there. If we can get a tackle here, that would be nice. Fletcher hits it with his head, goes over the top, and that is out for a goal kick. There is a lot of action happening in this Hungerford-Concord game. Already 2-0 up for Concord. Right, Radari sending it down the wing, as would be expected of our tactic. Gets dispossessed by Lines. Onto Dyer. Through to Smith. Onto Freer. They're up the wing now as well. Can we defend this well? Morton. Lines. Is Morton just going to go for a shot? He does, and he actually forces our keeper to make a save, which is a bit mad. Change his camera up a little bit. They have a corner. What's our corner defence like? We'll have to see. Seems like we managed to clear it away for now, but they do still have the ball. But that's the end of that highlight, so nothing happening there. They've definitely had the better of the play here. They've had 8 shots, 2 on target. We've had 1 shot in total. Not great. Half-time, still 0-0. We need to do a bit more here. Yeah, we haven't taken nearly enough shots, and that has made Joe Young anxious for some reason. Right, 53 minutes in. First highlight of the second half. We did have the ball, but then our guy just kicked it into the opposition player. Right, we're back on it. Crescienti, if I can ever say his name right. Allen. Over the top to Radari. Oh, and he misses it. Never mind. At least that was our first sort of somewhat good chance of a goal, maybe. We've moved our XG back up in line with them now. But it is 68 minutes in, and it's probably about time we make some sort of substitution. Who's not been playing very well? Maybe change you out for Sheringham? Potentially. Anyone else been playing really badly? Not really. Carruthers and Coulson are pretty much the only 2 people that can play in the left mid and right mid sort of winger area role, so we can never ever really take them off. So if they ever get an injury, we are going to have ourselves a bit of an issue, but we're going to bring on Murtagh, and I think that should be okay for substitutions at the moment. Okay, another highlight, and it is Bath on the ball. Over the top, but Winter manages to get it. Onto Coulson, back onto Winter, onto Sheringham, the new substitution, onto Lovett, through to Winter, onto the wing to Coulson, but he gets dispossessed by Fryer. We've got it back though. Murtagh onto Lovett, across, trying to get it onto Coulson, but he's not quick enough to be able to pick that up. Seems like we're able to get it onto the wing, but then we're just not able to do much with it after that. But Sheringham onto Rodri, and it's through and it's in, but I'm not sure if that was offside. It was. That was the breakthrough. I mean, he's well offside. He is well offside. We can't argue with that, to be honest. Right, we're going to make a final sub to see if we can salvage something of this game. We haven't really got a huge amount of people we can do substitutions with. Yes, Campbell on left back. We haven't got any sort of forward subs anymore. The last guy is Sam Odawu, and that's it. Again, like I say, lack of squad depth in these lower leagues is very tricky. Last minute highlight here, 91 minutes in, and quite worryingly, it is Bath on the ball. We do manage to get it back, but it's on to Wilson, and he skies it. He skies it, he puts it over the top. Apparently that was actually a save rather than skying it, so they do have a corner. Literally last minute corner, 92 minutes in now. Heads it away, but it's not free from danger yet. And that was going nowhere. Goal kick for us. Are we going to get a highlight for it? We do. We have got a highlight. Young is going to absolutely boot this up the field. Does he manage to get it onto anyone? He does, onto Rodri, but he's not able to do anything with it. And it falls back into the hands of the Bath defenders. This game seems like it's never going to end. We have possession once again, and that's it. There we go. 0-0. Pretty boring first game, to be honest. Bath ended up with a 1.3 XG. Ourselves a 0.6. Not great. Not great at all. Pre-season would have suggested slightly better performance than that. So that is the only game we are going to do in this episode, because obviously we had the a little introduction to the squad at the beginning. So I'm going to go away, probably do these matches here. these 5 matches, and then join back with you around the sort of Chippenham Welling area, I think. And then after that, maybe the FA Cup second qualifying round, but depends who we get drawn with. If we get drawn with a big team, we'll definitely be doing it, but we'll see about that in the next episode. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, share, comment, all that fantastic stuff, and I'll see you next time.